Court will call 2013-65, State of Arkansas versus Casey Hartman. Mr. Hartman, you are appearing before the court today on a charge of criminal attempt to obtain prescription drug by fraud. Have you made any arrangements to have an attorney represent you at this time?
Yeah, Ben Gibson. He's not here today.
So you've contacted Mr. Gibson and retained him?
Yes.
Judge, he has revocations pending in Marion County. I think he's on probation but no revocation has been filed at this point. I think his probation status in Baxter County is same charge.
On the charge of criminal attempt to obtain a prescription by fraud, at this time, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
I'll note your plea of not guilty. The court's a little uncertain. I suspect that he's in custody because of the revocation proceedings out of Marion County. Because
Yes.
the bond of $25,000 was set in this case, and it appears he made that bond. There's a documentation that he made that bond in the file. So I was trying to determine why he's still in jail, so I assume it's on the revocation
Yes, sir.
proceedings out of Marion County. In this county, this matter is set on Judge Putman's docket, so the court is going to set you down for reappearance on April 11th.
Retain him in the jail until April 11th, then we'll send him to Marion County. Okay? And we'll have to run back and forth to get him.
All right. You may be excused. 2012-174, State of Arkansas versus Michael Clark. What the docket reflects is that this individual appeared on August 9th of 2012, entered a plea in front of Judge Putman. If not true, was rescheduled for August 16th on my docket and did not appear, at which point the court declared him a fugitive and directed a warrant would issue. That warrant was outstanding until it was returned. Apparently he was arrested on March 23rd, and the warrant was actually returned and a file set up on March 26th. He was set down for his first appearance in front of this court on April 4th, which is today. So that's the status of this case, under which this case comes before the court.
At this point, Mr. Clark has filled out an application for our office to represent him. I think that has been approved by the court this morning. Your Honor, I think his absence, as I understand it from visiting with him this morning, deals with actually being in the Department of Corrections. Is that right, Michael?
Yes, sir. I was arrested on the morning of the court, actually, and I served a 3-year. I was in Craighead County and signed for 3 years ADC, and I was let go in January. And my mother's house burned down, and we've been busy with that, and I never got a chance to come back and deal with this yet. But that was the reason for the FTA, sir.
Same for trial the week of July 8th. Pre-trial will be scheduled. I'm going to set him down for pre-trial on May 30th.
Your Honor, does the file reflect his bond at $7,500?
Let's see. Originally, I think it was $5,000. No, it's higher than that.
50,000 is what I have on mine. I don't know if it was reduced or not.
Yes, sir. It was reduced on that first court date to $5,000, and I posted bond.
I don't see that it's ever been reset. Court will set bond at $10,000. 2012-252, State of Arkansas versus Clinton Williams.
Your Honor, the status on Mr. Williams, the court and I had some conversation about Mr. Williams with Mr. Kenford Carter last Wednesday. He was screened for drug court, and I believe that there was an issue because of an injury that he had about him getting into drug court here. And we had talked about the possibility of pleading him to drug court here and transferring him to drug court in Washington County. Does the court recall that?
I recall we had the conversation. I'm not recalling the details at this point. Where do we stand?
Your Honor, we stand at this point, his attorney in Fayetteville, Mr. Peroni, and I had a conversation yesterday. At this point, he does not believe that Mr. Williams will be accepted into their drug court program. So I think I need to call him, let him know of the reappearance today, and I've talked to the drug court personnel. I don't know, Your Honor, at this point, he's not been accepted here, he's not been accepted in Washington County. That's where we are.
Judge, the recommendation is some sort of long-term treatment program, either drug or mental health. I'm not sure how to interpret the note that we got from the drug court, but I think we need to look into disposition of this, see if the RPF would be appropriate. That might not be appropriate if the injury that he received is actually a frontal lobe injury. He might have some limitations.
I think that was the issue with placing him in drug court here, and so, but I think my recollection of our conversation, I was willing to put him into drug court with the idea that he would transfer and be accepted in Washington County, but because they have more resources in that jurisdiction than we do here for treatment of individuals. But we didn't feel he was appropriate for drug court here because of limitations in our resources. So,
Judge, if you could set him for reappearance your next time you're going to be here, let me get with Mark and see what disposition would be appropriate.
I'll send him down to reappear on May 2nd.
Judge, we'll look into RPF and see if there's going to be an RPF program that will accept him. Because of his particular type of injury, he may or may not be acceptable for that program.
You know, I told Mr. Kincaid if we could find out if he's going to be accepted into RPF, and also if the Washington County charges could be in RPF, we might be able to take care of him this afternoon. I don't think we'll be able to get all that done by the time we could bring him back this afternoon, Judge.
Judge, we'll contact
I'm going to put him down for reappearance on May 2nd. The trial date will be continued from April 22nd, 23rd to May 20th and 21st as an excluded period.
No objection, Your Honor.
While we investigate that issue.
Thank you,
See if
Judge.
we can't resolve this, if not sooner, at least by May 2nd.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very well.